So you want to play Diablo 2 Reimagined, but it's been a while since you've played Diablo, or you've just never played any other mod for some reason of Diablo 2, and you're wondering how the crafting system works. Well, I'm here to go ahead and help you guys with that. This is just going to be a beginner's guide to crafting in Diablo 2 Reimagined. I'm going to be showing you guys some basic recipes, things that are really going to help you get along in the game nicely. Let's first start off with talking about something that you may remember if you've played Diablo 2 Resurrected. Some things are a little bit different. Most crafting recipes are still here, but the one I wanted to show you guys real quick is one of the things that has changed from Diablo 2 Resurrected to Reimagined is you only need 2 runes now to make a rune that is higher. So I put both of these ums in here just to show you that this is how it works. You may remember you would have to put a gem in here in order to transmute this up to a mal rune, which should be the rune that comes after right? So it's not like that anymore. You no longer need gems to upgrade your runes, and all you need now is to put 2 of the same type in the cube, hit the transmute button, and we have ourselves a mal rune. So that is number one of the easiest things I can show you. So up next, you may have noticed that either A, people are telling you that you can now store your gems in a bag to save on inventory space, or B, you read about it when you were researching this mod and you're wondering, how do I make this? A lot of you probably already know, but if you don't, let me take you through the steps of doing that. All you need is 1 chip gem of every kind of gem. So we're going to put all of our chip gems into the cube, including a chip skull. Don't forget that one. You do need a chip skull. And so now that we have a chipped amethyst, we have a chipped emerald, we have a chipped skull, we have a chipped diamond, a chipped sapphire, a chipped ruby, and a chipped topaz, we're going to hit the transmute button, and this is how we get our gem bag. Next up here, you might be wondering, okay, well now I have this gem bag right here. How do I get the gems out of the gem bag? What you're going to do, take the gem bag, put it in your inventory, okay? You're going to pick up any type of chipped gem or chipped skull, transmute that, and it creates something called chipped diamond grabber. Now the way that this actually works here, say you want to grab the type of gem that is above this, which would be a flawed diamond. You hit the transmute button 1 time and it will change in the little hand here, and then that's how you would be able to grab a flawed diamond. Same thing for diamond, same thing for flawless, same thing for perfect diamond, and then hit it again, goes right back, the chipped diamond grabber. That's how you do that. Now I'm gonna take one of these bags that I've been using. I actually have like 3 of these at this point because I've been finding a lot of gems and storing them for end game stuff that I'll talk about in a different video. But so now that you have this, I want you to notice something right here. If you look at the top here where it says gem bag, it says 16 equals perfect, 8 equals flawless, 4 equals standard, 2 equals flawed, 1 equals chipped. You might be wondering what that means. If you see right below that where it says sapphire credits, it says that you can put 255 credits into this gem bag. That doesn't mean you put 255 sapphires into the gem bag. That means that you can put the equivalent of all of those, right, of all of those tallies up there into the bag. Now what that means is, say you have this, right? This would only count as 1 token, right? We'll just say 1 token. Now if this was flawed, then it would count as 2. If it was standard, this would count as 4, yada yada. I'm not trying to confuse you, so I hope you're keeping with me here. The reason why I'm mentioning this is you want to look at this every once in a while and make sure your credits aren't at a point where it's 255 out of 255. If it reaches that and you try to put something else in there, nothing is going to happen. So let me take this, let me see here. Alright, so this gem bag right here is almost completely full. I'm gonna pull a diamond. Let's put this on perfect diamond out of this bag right here. Now we have a perfect diamond, see? Just like I explained. So now, if you look over here, My diamond credits are 227. Now if I put this in here, that's going to count as 16, right? Now it's at 243. So now, let's take another one out of here, right? Perfect diamond. Put this away, put that away, get this bag. The one that now it says it's at 243. When we put that in there, it stops at 255. Now if I was to take another perfect diamond out of here, put this back, put that back, and then try to put this perfect diamond into this gem bag. Notice how it says that it's 255 out of 255 credits. If I push this button, goodbye to my diamond. It's gone, right? It's gone forever. Don't make that mistake, because I made that mistake myself. As you can see right here, it still says 255 of 255. You have just completely erased that diamond. Don't do that. That's actually why I have multiple gem bags. So like I was saying, just try to make sure that you look at the credits and that you understand that you only have a certain amount of space in there. Sometimes you will need to make more than one gem bag. Also, I will point out that if you take one of these grabbers and you throw it on the ground, there's nothing there. Now you can find the text on the ground somewhere. Right here, I happen to have dropped another one earlier, so there it is. But just be aware that if you drop this on the ground, there is no in-game icon for these yet, so it will be invisible. You can find the name, but it will be invisible, so just be careful. Now let's say you want to know how to put the gems into the bag. In case you weren't able to pick it up, let me actually show you guys that process right now. You're going to take your topaz, you're going to put it in the cube, hit transmute, boom, there it goes. Easy peasy. There really isn't anything too difficult about this. I'm sure all of you guys can figure that out. Okay, so up next, later on in the game, you will be needing to farm keys of terror, keys of hate, and keys of destruction. Now, these can take up a lot of inventory space inside of your inventory, but this is another quality of life feature to help you guys save on inventory room, and I personally love this one. We are going to take these and we are going to create a key ring. Now what you need for this is one scroll of identification, one key of terror, one key of hate, one key of destruction. Put these all in the cube, transmute them, and now you have a key ring, making this a lot easier for you. And now to put keys into your key ring, all you need to do, that's simple. You just take the key, put it in the cube, hit the button to transmute, and it goes right there. So that's going to save you a whole lot of room. Okay, so now let's say you want to get your keys out of the keychain that you made and you have no idea how to do that. To do that, you're going to want to go to Act 1 and talk to Akara, right here. I think you can do this with everybody, you know, the main merchant in every city, but for the sake of the video, I'm just saying Akara because she happens to be right there. Buy a grabber. There you go. Destruction key. They only cost 1 gold. So now you have a grabber for each one of your keys. Put that away. Let's go over here for a second. We're going to open up our cube and put our keychain in there. And then you just pick the key grabber that you want, whichever key it is that you might need. So for the sake of this, let's say we want a hate key, right? So I have only one of those in there, but I put the hate key grabber in here. I pull it out, and sure enough, there's the key of hate. Notice that you get the grabber back, and also your keychain stays the same, so you don't have to worry about destroying your keychain if you don't have all 3 keys in there after you've already made your keychain. Now, as soon as you want to put that key back in there, again, just like that, put in the cube, hit transmute, and you should be good to go. Okay, so up next, I'm going to show you how to put sockets into your gear. So let's say you want to put sockets into a piece of armor. There is now an easy way for you to do that. Whereas before, your only hope there was pretty much going to Larzak or whatever his name is in Act 5 and getting the max socket quest. Now you can put in any amount of sockets that will fit onto this plate. For example, this can roll with 4 sockets, but it can't go to 5. So, and you want to watch that because you're going to take these jewels. I'm putting 4 jewels now into the cube with this Archon plate, right? Once I hit transmute, this is going to turn into a 4-socketed version of the exact same item. Now, the reason I'm saying be careful is because if I was to put 5 in here, and I thought that this could get 5 sockets, once I hit this transmute button, this jewel will be gone forever, and you will only have 4 sockets. So be careful with that, because especially in the end game, you're gonna need these jewels. They're something that are very valuable to players of Diablo 2 Reimagined, and you need to save up as many of these as you can, because unlike other versions of Diablo 2, where these have pretty much no use whatsoever to you, this time they're actually going to do something to help you. So once we get this in here, we get the 4 jewels in here, we just hit the transmute button, and there we go. We now have the exact same item, but we have added 4 sockets to it, where we can make a rune word, we can put jewels into it, I guess, if you really want to. You can go ahead and put a bunch of topaz in there to help your magic find. Whatever you happen to want to do, that's how we're going to do that. Next, I'm going to teach you about rune stacks. Now, what rune stacks are, is you can now take your runes and stack them on top of each other. So let's pick up a rune stack right here. This happens to be a stack of 16, see how it says 16? 16 Thol rune stack, okay? That means this counts as 16 Thol runes. Now let's say you want to take out just one of those runes and you're wondering how to do it. Well, it's pretty easy, here we go. You just put it in the cube, hit transmute, and now you have 2 separate stacks. Now this one is 1 and this one is 15. So now you still can't use it yet, so don't forget this step. Now that you have the 1 Thol rune, you're going to hit transmute again, and now as you can see, it's a regular Thol rune that you can now equip into any item that you wish to create, whatever rune word it is that you're trying to create. Now, have you ever had a problem when you were out there running around in the world and killing monsters and you happen upon something, maybe it's this blue battle staff right here, and you were thinking to yourself, man, I wish this was a white item so that I could actually use this and make a rune word that I need, because you've been out there looking for a long time and you cannot seem to find, for whatever reason, whether it be your bad luck or not, you just cannot find a white item or a gray item to make the rune word that you want. There's an easy fix now for that. We're going to take our blue item, open up the cube here. You can see it's blue. We're going to get a L rune, and we're going to get a Hell rune, which somehow, some way, has suddenly become very valuable in this version of the game. I see people on Discord all the time being like, man, I wish I had more Hell runes, because we've been doing this a lot, and it's very helpful. It makes things quite a bit faster. Now, you can just continue to go out in the world and try to find that white staff, but who has time for that? We all have jobs, and we need to get this stuff done. So put this in here with the cube. You're going to hit transmute, and look, it is now blue and has been re-rolled. You can do this as many times as you want. If for some reason you just happen to have a bunch of Hell and L runes and you want to try to get this to be a godly white base item, you can re-roll it over and over again until you get the rolls that you want. Just to show you here real quick that this is a thing that you can do, pull these back out, get myself another L rune and another Hell rune, LL, hit transmute, and as you can see, it has been re-rolled. So this is something that can actually help you out quite a bit as well. Okay, so let's look at another scenario. So let's say you have a unique weapon that you really like, but you are going up into nightmare difficulty, and you would prefer if this thing was a little bit stronger so that you could actually continue to use it for just a little bit longer. There is a way to do that too. This is a normal version of Troll's Touch. Now, if we were to grab a Rao rune, a Soul rune, and a perfect emerald, like so, and we transmute this in the cube, it's going to take it up from the normal version of the weapon to the exceptional version of the weapon. As you can see right here, we now have an exceptional Troll's Touch, and it does a little bit more damage. So if for some reason you have a weapon like that and you really love that weapon and you want to continue using it, go ahead and give this a shot, and that will help you. Okay, on to the next one. Let's say you just really love this Troll Touch weapon, and you really want to take this from Nightmare into Hell for some reason. Now this is a little bit more expensive, but it can be done if you want to upgrade this from Exceptional to Elite. What you're going to need though is a Lum Rune and a Pole Rune and a Perfect Emerald. Now luckily for you guys, I'm making this video and I don't care about wasting these runes right here because I have enough to do this. But let's just go ahead and do it. And now we have an elite version of the weapon. Troll's Touch now does 95 to 133 damage, which is way more than it was before. And we just completely upgraded a weapon from normal all the way up to elite. Now this is how you do it for the uniques, and next we are going to talk about armor and how you can upgrade your armor all the way up to elite as well. Okay, so let's say that you have a armor piece that you also really want to upgrade. This is Steel Flesh. It is a very low unique. It's not the worst, but it's also not the best. But let's just say you love this and you want to upgrade this to Exceptional. For that you're going to want one Tau Rune, one Shale Rune, and then also one Perfect Diamond. And then we're going to transmute this, and there we go. You just went ahead and upgraded this up to Exceptional, and defense is now 450, which is a lot more than it used to be. Okay, so next up, let's say you now want to take this Exceptional unique and make it a Elite unique. This one, in my opinion, is pretty expensive. Probably would not do this normally, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it for you guys for the sake of this video. You need a Lem Rune, you need a Ko Rune, and you need a Perfect Diamond. Now once we transmute this, you have just fully upgraded this up to Elite. By the way, this will work on things like boots, it will work on your gloves, any armor. You can use this recipe to upgrade it all the way up to Elite. Now I'm going to show you guys a few basic ways that you can actually add item stats to your armors or weapons to also help you find the perfect gear for your character. So let's go with this Exceptional piece of armor. Doesn't matter if it's Exceptional, Normal, or Elite. You put a piece of armor in the cube, grab yourself a topaz, you hit transmute, and now this armor piece has a 20% better chance of getting magic items without having to put anything into these sockets. So this is really useful for people that are trying to add specific things to your armor sets without having to use a socket that you might need for a rune word. So as you can tell, it's still gray, so you can do this. I do not believe that you can actually do this to continuously put item stats onto your gear, but let's try it. So just to show you, so now remember last time I put a topaz in there, this time I'm putting in a diamond. We're gonna hit that transmute button, nothing happens. So this can only happen one time. You can only do that one time. So let's go ahead and try to do that with an emerald this time instead of trying to use that topaz. This time it's going to come up with 5 to dexterity. Now, that is the easiest way I can explain that for you. I'm not going to go through every single one. I think you guys get the idea, but I will go ahead and just read them out to you real quick just so that you guys understand exactly what you're going to get for each stat. So, for a perfect topaz, you add magic find your armor. If you put in a ruby, you're going to add life to your armor. If you put in a sapphire, then you're going to add mana to your armor. You put in an emerald like you just saw, dexterity. If you put in an amethyst, you're going to get extra strength added to that armor. If you put in a diamond, it's supposed to get durability added to your armor. You can also use these on your belt. You can use this on your gloves. You can also use it on your boots. And you can use this with weapons as well. But the weapons are a little different, so let me go ahead and show you guys something from there. Okay, so let's grab our staff from earlier in the video. And let's say that for some reason you wanted to try to add lightning damage to this white staff. You're going to put a perfect topaz in there. Make sure you get your staff in there. Hit the transmute button. And now you have added 1 to 75 lightning damage to this battle staff that you can still put those jewels into, put sockets in it, and make a rune word out of this. So as you can see, this is part of the reason why I like this version of the game, is these crafting options for you. There's actually a lot of crafting that you can do in Diablo 2, and I feel like people don't really realize it. But specifically in this mod, there is a lot of crafting options available to you. I would always recommend to go to the website and read some of the documentation, but if you are more of a visual learner, that's kind of why I'm making this video for you. Okay, let's talk about rerolling charms. So let's say you have 3 grand charms that you do not want. One thing I would actually recommend to everybody is that pick these up. Pick up the grand charms, pick up the small charms. I don't really care about large charms, but I would say pick up the small and the large charms, because what you can do with these is you put 3 of these into the cube. These ones are garbage charms to me. One adds 1 to 3 lightning, the other one is 66 defense, the other one is +4 to strength. But we can at least reroll them for the chance of getting a better grand charm. This one gave me +1 to traps for assassin only, which is way better than the 3 that I had previously. I would say yes, isn't it? Right? Like, I'm actually pretty happy right now that I just got a +1 to traps for assassin only, because now when I make an assassin, I'm already going to have a little bit of an advantage, because when I start out as my traps in, I'll have +1 to traps. Now, just to show you that it is doable, I'm going to take 3 small charms, put them into the cube, hit transmute, and we have a new small charm. This one rolled trash. This is a trash small charm. Don't really want it, but at least I know I can hold on to that and re-roll that again at a later date when I have 3 garbage ones I don't need for a chance of getting a good one. Now, next up, you can do this with regular magic rings too. You always could in Diablo 2. You take 3 blue rings, put them in the cube and transmute, and you will get an amulet back for that. But this right here is something I've been doing lately, which maybe I'm an idiot, but I didn't know I could do this. You can take rare rings too and do this, and it's going to re-roll another rare ring. So again, you have a chance of finding something better. Also, sorry to jump back and forth like this, but if I remember correctly, when you re-roll your grand charms, they will roll at the level that you are currently, which means if you're wanting to get plus to skill grand charms, then the best thing for you to do is to hold on to those grand charms even when they are low level grand charms, because once you get to like level 70, 80, something like that, you know, pretty much above 50, you will always have a chance of getting plus to skills grand charms after you hit that level. So wait until you're above level 50 to start doing that. Okay, so here's another tip that I think might help you guys out quite a bit, especially depending on how much experience you have playing Diablo 2. In the past versions of the game, you would only get to respec 3 times. In this version of the game, it's still the same, except they made it easier for you to get something called a token of absolution. Now, in previous versions of Diablo 2, before this mod, you would have to go and find the essences that would drop from primevals when you would fight the bosses in the game, right? I think there's 4 in total, so 3 are from primevals and 1 you get from either Endariel or you get from Duriel. You'd put them together and it would give you a token of absolution, and what a token of absolution does is it resets all of your stats and all of your skill points. No longer will you ever have to deal with that, because now you can just take 1 town portal and 1 identify scroll right here, Put in the cube, hit transmute, there you go. Token of absolution. So if for some reason you broke your character and you need to reset your skills and your stats, it's very easy to do. You can do this at just about any level. All you need is that identification scroll and that town portal scroll, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so for the last tip I'm gonna give you guys, there was something that I consider to be huge that they changed in this version of Diablo 2, and that is you can now repair ethereal items. Unfortunately, I only have one unique jewel, so I can't show it to you, but I know it works. And if you have 2 unique jewels and 1 pole rune, you put it into the cube with your ethereal item, it will repair that item. So we finally are able to keep some of the strongest items in the game that we've had and wished that we could always repair but couldn't. We can finally do it. So for today, that's all I have for you. I am going to make another one of these because there is a lot of cube crafting recipes, but I thought for now I'd go ahead and just make a basic video just teaching people who are new to the game how to actually utilize a lot of these cube recipes to really help you enjoy the game and have a great time. So thank you all for your time. If you're still here, for the love of God, subscribe. I'm trying to get 500 subscribers. I'm losing my mind, but you don't have to. Anyways, it's all good if you don't. And yeah, have a good night and late.